A few months ago, I was talking to a care course member, and she was asking me how to stop her loved one from ruining things. She gave me the example of her husband putting a metal thermal coffee cup in the microwave and microwaving it, putting the wrong fluid in the car engine, and trying to open the car door while she was driving. Right? So not only are these things that ruin things, can ruin items like putting a thermal coffee mug in the microwave, they can also be quite dangerous to her loved one and to other people, such as trying to operate heavy machinery or get out of a moving car. It can sometimes be hard to come up with ideas on how to respond to these types of events, especially if you've been with your loved one a long time. You're used to them being independent, and you might struggle to put certain limitations on your loved one because they have been so independent. You don't want to take away some of the things that they enjoy doing. You don't want to take away any of their dignity. So there becomes a lot of emotions tied into some of these activities. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some ways that you can minimize the chance of your loved one ruining things and putting themselves in harm's way. And I'm going to show you how you can do it without even calling attention that you're doing it. Also, at the end of this video, I'm going to share my 2 biggest takeaways that you can start applying to your life today. Careblazer, before I continue with the video, I want to let you know that very soon I'm hosting a Make Caregiving Easier workshop series. I'm going to be going live for 14 days, giving you the strategies you need to help make your dementia caregiving experience easier, even if your loved one doesn't want to change, even if they don't believe anything is wrong. I'm so excited to offer this to you. There is a special link below this video where you can click to join. The last day to join is October 17th. We get started on the 18th. See you there. Bye. Okay, so we all know that dementia progresses and it declines with time. So there are going to be some things that they were safe to do for many years or even safe to do now that they eventually will no longer be safe to do. And so it's really important that you're attuned to their ability levels, their physical and cognitive ability levels, so you can intervene as needed. I wish it was easy as me just saying, hey, tell your loved one not to do those things. I wish this Careblazer could just tell her husband, hey, honey, those cups don't go in the microwave. They ruin the cup and, can be dangerous. And then her husband would say, oh, okay, sure, right? But we know it doesn't work that way. Either they don't believe it, they don't understand it, or they forget it. And even after agreeing not to do it, they end up doing it. Or let's say best case scenario, they remember not to do it, but it doesn't generalize to the plate that they can't microwave, right? So while you wish that you could just tell them things and they would stop doing it, we know that's not realistic. So how are we going to approach these situations? The easiest thing that you can do to reduce your frustration, save you energy, and reduce the chances that your loved one is going to become upset or disagree with you is to change the environment to match your loved one's ability level. So for example, if your loved one loves to microwave his coffee, the cabinet that has his coffee cups in it only now has microwave safe coffee cups. You remove the obstacle, you take away the chance of him, or you highly reduce the chance of him grabbing the wrong cup when the cabinet he always goes to has only microwave safe cups in it. If your loved one pours the wrong fluid in the car engine, perhaps all of the car fluids are locked up in a cabinet or even thrown out because at this point you're going to go get your car serviced somewhere, and you don't even need to tell your loved one you're doing it. You can just remove those items or lock up those items. You don't even need to call attention to it. If your loved one goes to put fluid in the car and can't find the fluid and says something about it, you can say, oh, I guess we must be out, and then go about your day. You don't want to remind them, I got rid of them because you're not safe to do it or you're doing it wrong, because then that starts to hurt your relationship. So the big takeaway here is to change the environment to match their ability levels. You might find that it's a bit annoying, or you might be frustrated that you even have to take the time to do it, but this upfront time that you would take to change the environment will save you so much time and frustration down the road when you have to take the car in to get a service because of the wrong fluid in it, or because the cup was ruined and created a big mess in the microwave. The other takeaway I want you to take is, in addition to changing the environment to match their ability level, I want you to consider how you could get ahead of the behavior. So this Careblazer mentioned that her husband became really confused when they were driving down the road and trying to open the car door in motion while she was driving. So what's important here is, how can she get ahead of that behavior? By thinking of what she could do to keep her husband's attention while she's driving. In this situation, perhaps she has a map for him to hold because he's going to help her navigate. Or perhaps she has one of his favorite handheld snacks for him to eat while she's driving. Or perhaps she has downloaded on her phone and plugged into the car the top 40 most popular songs that were happening when he was a teenager, and they have a sing-along in the car when they go for a drive. Or perhaps there's a really easy to read sign on the dashboard that says, "Do not touch the door," or "Keep your hands on your lap." The more you try to change your loved one's behavior through your words by constantly reminding them, the more likely you're going to get stressed out, frustrated, and put strain on your relationship. The more you try to change the environment by removing the obstacle altogether or preparing ahead of time for the behavior, things will go more smoothly. And notice how these approaches do not highlight or remind your loved one of their challenges or deficits in any way, right? So all too often I see that happening where out of the goodness of your heart, you might remind your loved one of something they can't do, and it just adds more strain on your relationship and makes it more difficult for your loved one to accept care from you in the future. So Careblazer, how have you, or how do you plan to change your environment to match your loved one's ability? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure your comments are going to be super helpful to other Careblazers looking for ideas. As always, I'll be back next week with a new video. In the meantime, download your Careblazer survival guide, hit the red subscribe button. Both are totally free.